made by Dina McGuffin's dad.
I kick in like a turbo
Dina McGuffin
booster.
is a great cowgirl boot
Ooh,
maker.
we are back on the Morning Brew with friends. I guess I'm not supposed to be touching the artworks. Andrew Connors is here from the Albuquerque Museum, and he has cotton gloves. I love this, to touch these amazing shoes. These are from Dina McGuffin's father.
Yes, exactly.
And I've in my regular job, I've written about Dina because she is one of the most amazing boot makers in Albuquerque. She's got a great little spot, and these are from her father.
Yes, her dad and her grandfather were boot makers, and her dad's tendon was so shortened from wearing high boot heels all the time that when he went to make dress shoes for himself, he had to add the roper heel onto it.
Oh, really?
So they sort of look like something out of the Wicked Witch of the West.
I was going to say something
but
Prince would wear.
Yeah, but they're men's fancy dress shoes.
I love it.
The Killer Heels exhibition comes to us from the Brooklyn Museum, and it opens on May 30th.
And this is a very, very cool traveling exhibition.
It's a major show.
And this is really, it's a show at the museum that's all about shoes as art. It's more than just shoes as stuff we wear. It's shoes that we can look at, shoes we can really appreciate. And I'm just blown away at these high-heeled sneakers here that we have, because I was looking at the beadwork on these things is stunning. It is, I can't imagine how much time and energy went into building this. It's amazing.
Yeah, these are by Terry Greaves, who's an artist out of Santa Fe. She's Kiowa, and so she's using her Kiowa heritage to inform her beadworking, but clearly taking a high-top sneaker and adding a heel to it and turning it into a high-heel sort of dress shoe, but it's still a sneaker, and these are called Res Pride, Res Girls, and so you see the traditional Native American woman on the outside of the shoe, and then on the inside you see the same woman playing basketball.
That's very
being
cool.
Very much a modern woman, you know, engaging in modern sports. And Terry is always playing with those ideas, sort of working against stereotype, celebrating heritage, but also saying we're a lot more than that.
And then we've got some very famous shoes here.
Yes, these are. Yeah,
these are actually these shoes?
Yes. These actually are on loan to the museum from a local collector. And these are the shoes that Madonna wore when she filmed the Material Girl video in 1985.
So how do you know those are like these shoes?
They were sold at a charity auction, at a fundraising auction, and Madonna certified them, and she even signed the bottom, Love Madonna.
That's amazing.
So they're beaten up because she was dancing probably for hours, maybe days in them, and they're just...
I can't imagine those being dance shoes.
Well,
with those heels. Like, that's the amazing part about it.
Well, that's the thing about...
Mackenzie, could you dance in these? Like, this is...
I can, because I dance flamenco.
Oh, you can? Oh, yeah, so it's not as hard as it looks.
So you're used to those sort of heels. But Madonna was channeling Marilyn Monroe in the Material Girl video. And so these are very similar to the Salvatore Ferragamo shoes that Marilyn Monroe wore regularly.
Of course.
And we have a pair also in the Killer Heels exhibition that Marilyn Monroe wore by Salvatore Ferragamo.
So I always wondered,
less expensive.
I know you're wearing the cotton gloves to touch the artwork, but with these kinds of shoes, do you just like put them in a box and toss them in the trunk, or is there like an armed guard car outside the studio this morning? I mean, how do you carry those around?
Well,
and are they insured? Is like $1 million insurance policy on the Madonna shoes?
Well, there's big insurance on all of them, and we have to make sure that we always take care of them very carefully. Our collection staff, Steve Pettit, packed these up for me yesterday evening, and we left them at the museum. I didn't leave them in my car overnight.
So just put them in the trunk and
exactly. Drove to the museum and picked them up this morning, and then we just unpacked them. But the thing about these is that, you know, they look like they're beaten up old dance shoes, but the thing is that they really exactly, but they carry a lot of sort of cultural weight. And that's one of the fun things about this exhibition, that there's so much to learn about heritage, culture, history. The oldest shoes in the show date back to about the 1550s.
Oh, wow.
They're from Italy, the Chopin shoes, and women in Venice used to wear outrageously high shoes. The idea being that it would sort of elevate their dress and allow them to put more fabric in their dresses. But they couldn't walk around in them. They always had to have a servant, or they had to have canes, you know, walking sticks on either side. And then there are Chinese shoes and Japanese shoes, the Gaeta shoes. So it's really interesting to see how all around the world there's been this heritage of high heels.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do with the Albuquerque venue, we're taking the show from the Brooklyn Museum, but we wanted to show more diversity in terms of Native American aesthetic, Hispanic aesthetic, Western
aesthetic.
Cowboy aesthetic.
Locally made.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it.
And so we're really adding a couple of pairs of men's shoes. Virgil Ortiz is making a whole man's outfit for the show.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Remind me, is the show open or not yet?
No, the show opens May 30th.
Okay, we got some time.
Yeah, and that's Saturday, May 30th, and it starts with a lecture by Lisa Small, the curator of the Brooklyn Museum, and she's going to be talking about the organization of the show.
That's very cool. And there's a whole book that goes with it.
Yes, it's a spectacular catalog. Killer Heels, The Art of the High Heel Shoe. And this illustrates about 180 different designs of shoes. And we'll have 181 different designs for shoes.
That's
when I
very
say
cool.
Designs, we're not going to have pairs of all of the shoes because some of them are so light sensitive and fragile that only one will be on view here. And then for the rest of the show, another one will be on view.
Like Monday through Wednesday, you get like the left shoe.
Exactly.
And then like Thursday through Sunday, you get the right shoe.
Yeah. Well, Albuquerque and Palm Springs gets the left shoe, and then New Hampshire and...
Actually, this is a pretty clever idea here. You can just be like, I'm giving you the whole left shoes exhibit, and then the right shoe, and then you get 2 exhibits out of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty clever.
We do have some complete pairs of shoes in the show.
What are some of your favorites that you've seen so far in the show?
Well, of course, I'm biased because I love the local artists and the idea that New Mexico is contributing on this national scene. The Janice Ortiz, a Cochiti potter, made this spectacular platform high heel shoe out of ceramic, traditional Cochiti ceramic using traditional Cochiti designs. So that's kind of fun. Goldie Garcia, local girl.
She's been on the show several times. We love Goldie. Yeah, comedian.
Exactly. Goldie made a shoe that's a tribute to the Virgin of Guadalupe. She said, in the images of the Virgin of Guadalupe, you never see the feet, you never see her shoes.
Right, you never
so
do,
Goldie made
always...
the shoes that she was wearing.
You always just see the angels holding her up. I don't think I've ever paid attention to her.
Exactly, no shoes. Yeah, you won't find them. So that's sort of the creativity of local artists that are adding to the show.
Oh, that's cool.
But some of the designs, there's a design of a shoe that physically does not look like a foot could fit into it, and it was designed by a bridge builder. And actually, he created a structure at the toe and a structure at the back of the heel with this spiraling piece of fiberglass that wraps around your foot. So basically, it holds your foot like a suspension bridge, and there's nothing in the middle part of your foot, so nothing over between the ball of the foot and the heel. You're just floating in space.
That's very cool.
So there are just going to be so many different ways of learning. I mean, we were talking about STEM earlier. You've got to be an engineer to figure out how these things are. I mean, even something as simple as this, to figure out how to get the shoe connected and the heel not to break off and all of that supported, that's an engineering feat that Ferragamo, the Italian designer, was really noted for.
That's amazing. Yeah, he wasn't just a designer, he was an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm noticing the Madonna wears a size 7 3/2, it looks like. What does that say?
7 1/2. 3 halves.
It looks like a 7
8.5.
It looks like a 7 3/2.
So, yeah.
Madonna wears a 7 1/2.
Yeah, if anybody's interested.
That's a small foot, I think.
Or she
right?
did in 1984,
82,
85.
whatever. More importantly, what are you wearing? These are awesome shoes.
I'm not sure, but came from a local store. Which is kind of nice. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Well, the Killer Heels show opens May 30th at the Albuquerque Museum. I can't wait to go see it. Last time some of the folks in the museum were here, they brought me high heels to wear.
Yeah,
that was fun. Yeah. That was fun. I got to get my
for the
practice.
Shaken Not Stirred fundraiser,
which went well last Friday.
That was a great success last Saturday
great.
night. Yep.
We'll be back in a couple of seconds of the Morning Brew with friends. In the meantime, I think I'm going to have to Google some Madonna videos and see if I can spot the shoes. All in the Morning Brew with friends.